So basically, we'll be executing a search warrant, mostly at the rear of your property. Cockatoos screeched in the street trees and Barney was informed of his rights. We're acting in relation to a missing person. The policeman was so tall, kind of up there, and Barney looked past him now to the street, where a contraption that resembled a lawnmower was being removed from a van. Any evidence we take from the property will be stored as exhibits. "I'm just renting," said Barney. "I just rent the house." "That doesn't matter, Mr. Clarke. You're the occupier." The sound of Comfrey trotting softly down the hallway behind him. Barney stepped out onto the porch and closed the screen door. "You stay inside," said Barney to Comfrey, and the cat did frustrated circles on the floorboards. The policeman looked down at Comfrey and then up at Barney. He said, "I used to have a tortoiseshell myself, but now I have 2 blue Burmese." "Okay," said Barney. "Burmese are very muscular cats," said the policeman. An hour later, Barney, the occupier, stood on the patio at the back of his house, where there was a small table and 2 chairs. It was impersonal plastic furniture. Barney's old house had been charming and homey. This, his present house, was generic and mostly empty. He watched as the unexpected group of police people stood conferring in front of the shed next to the pool. Ginny Lawson. At first, in his drowsy confusion, the name meant nothing to him, but then it did. Ginny Lawson. A twinge of recognition as the police people brought in various pieces of equipment. "This is that house?" asked Barney. "This is that house, yes," said the policeman. Imagine my surprise and disappointment that the real estate agent failed to mention it. The policeman smiled. "Bit of bad luck, I guess." The policeman's name was Levins, Detective Sergeant Levins. Barney had recovered the ability to read a name tag. "Worse luck for Mrs. Lawson, I imagine," said Barney, as he was police escorted to his own shed, which was colorbond and green. The pool next to it was kidney-shaped, a pale blue organ. Morning light shone on the water while Barney answered questions about the shed, which would be such a dull subject on any other day. No, he did not purchase it. No, he did not assemble it. Yes, it was here previously. Barney was on the lawn now, next to the pool fence, and he saw a eucalyptus leaf fall from the overhanging tree. Then he moved to one side as a policeman dragged the lawnmower-like contraption over to the concrete, and he moved to the other side as a policeman carried past parts of a portable blue marquee. Several leaves floated in the pool, and Barney had the distinct feeling of being in the way, in his own home, which of course was such a familiar feeling to him. It reminded him of Deb, and the way he had been with Deb towards the end. Deb! Wait till Deb hears about this. I need to tell Deb. And then, of course, the silent chiding of himself, that he somehow thought it was still possible to talk with Deb. He was deluded and irrational and moist under his shirt. Barney stared at the lawnmower. It had big wheels with rubber tires and seemed, closer up, less lawnmower, and more like something they'd send to investigate the surface of the moon. "What is that? Some kind of radar?" asked Barney. "Ground-penetrating radar," said Levins. "How sophisticated," said Barney. Chapter 3. Joe sat on the edge of the couch, and Leonie put a little shoe on him, and then another. She fixed the Velcro straps down, and Joe unstuck one and smiled at the crackly sound it made. Leonie let him stick and unstick the Velcro over and over while she switched off the television and looked around for the bag Joe took to preschool. "Do owls know that their name is Owl?" asked Joe. "Like that they're called owls?" "Yes." "No," said Leonie, "they wouldn't know that." She went over to the window above the table and watched a policeman open one of the van doors and disappear inside it. In the red brick house across the street, Dorry was moving about in her kitchen. Leonie could see the movement of her in the window, and it always consoled her to see that Dorry was there. "Are owls in real life?" asked Joe. "Yes, sweetheart, they are," said Leonie. Leonie only 2 years ago would not have dreamed that someone would ever cohabitate with her in her modest, ordinary house. Yet here was Joe. Before Joe, it was a little lonely for Leonie, but she only really noticed this in retrospect. She hadn't been fully aware of how quiet it had been and how long the evenings were. Now there was Joe and not enough hours in the day. Now there was Joe and a lovely kind of chaos. Joe slept in the second bedroom, which Leonie used to use for Maury's visit.